Physical games are becoming a relic. It's unfortunate, but that is the reality we live in at this point. And most people these days, they buy virtual for the convenience. That's not inherently bad. I have a whole catalog on Steam as well. Physical games going away does a lot of harm for just gaming industry in general and affects you whether you buy physical or virtually. Now, more and more people are buying digitally these days, and there's a lot of examples. Capcom, for instance, they had around 93% of their sales digital. Okay, Sony 80% digital this past rough year. So it's abundant. Most people, they buy digitally. They don't buy physically. Those numbers, though, there is some caveats that not everybody really talks about. A lot of gamers have been moving to PC. Sony game, including Sony gamers, okay? People that play on PlayStation, they have been moving to PC. So when they're tallying up all the sales for games, that's including PC gamers. They don't have an option for physical media. It's just digital over there. So the Capcom saying 93% of their sales are digital, most of their sales are on PC as well. It's not inherently just everyone's just flocking to digital because they want to. There's not an option sometimes. Another caveat is, say you go into Best Buy, GameStop. Please don't go into GameStop, dude. For the love of God, save yourself. Or Walmart, just another retail store, anywhere that sells physical games, and you buy it. And you open up the box, and there's a code in there. Not a disc, there's a code. That is going to count as a digital sale. Now, in my opinion, that should not be a digital sale. That is a physical sale. This person went out of their way to go in a store, give you their money for a box or God, I hope it's not just a little scratch off code thing, but probably a box and there's a code inside. That is the same exact thing as physical, except there's no disc, but they count that as digital. Regardless of the caveats, the digital sales are definitely going up, and it's safe to say majority of people, they're buying digitally these days. Have you ever asked yourself, though, why? Why are everybody flocking digital? Why is everybody buying digitally now instead of physical? There is some pros, like minor pros. So you have you're less likely to lose the game for now. More on that in a second. Or it's like damn near, how are you going to damage a virtual game? You can't scratch it, you know? You don't have to pull out the toothpaste and put it on there like back in the day. Or if you're getting real lazy and you don't want to, God forbid, you get up, walk over to your game collection, pull the box out, and put the disc in the console. Those are little pro things virtual does on the side. You ain't buying virtual for that reason. There is 3 main reasons I think people buy virtually though. The biggest one is probably just the immediate access you get to the game virtually. So you don't have to go outside, get in your car, go to the store and buy the game. You don't have to do it. You can literally just load up your PC, load up your PlayStation, your Xbox, Switch, and the store is right there. You just type in the game and it's right there. And you just put in your card, boom, bada bing, it's done. It's super convenient, and I understand why people do it all the time, especially because, as a Gen Zer myself, we are a little antisocial. It's a little, social anxieties are a real thing in these parts. I ain't trying to talk to people when I don't have to. Not only is it super accessible, all the games at all moments of the day, you also just have after enough time, you'll have a crazy digital library. And it's all just there, which in itself is kind of cool. Low key, this is a kind of a cool concept. Is say you have a PS5, right? And you've bought you have a crazy amount of games on there, and you had the little PS Portal thing, and you really like handheld gaming. You can just swap over there your digital games. They're on the damn cloud somewhere. You don't need it's all digital. You can just pull out your handheld PlayStation Portal thingy, and it's right there. That is a cool idea, and it is kind of a cool thing about virtual games is you don't have to. It's all there, and ideally, when you get a PS6 or if you how you had a PS4, you want to go to PS5, they all follow you, and you don't have this horde of games just sitting there if you don't like that. I personally think that's Aura. But if you don't like that, it's all virtual. You don't have to worry about the clutter in your room. Then this, I ain't gonna lie, this is the one that honestly is the biggest pro to me when it comes to virtual stuff, virtual games specifically, is the discounts, dude. I'm on PC though, so this might be just me. So I don't know. I know that's not too crazy on Sony all the time. People will glaze Sony for their sales, but dude, Steam sales. Oh, on Steam, the amount of people that just buy games because they're on sale and don't touch them is insane. There's this article where they say gamers will buy games and they don't touch a fourth of the games they bought because they just buy them on sale. Witcher's $5. Might as well play it. Might as well buy it. They ain't playing it, gang. They're letting it sit there in their digital library and rotting. And I do that as well. It's a real problem. It's a real problem. I have like roughly 20 games in my catalog. I just went through and counted them that I have never touched. Not even touched the big green button, bro. Didn't even touch it. That is insane when you think about how much I've spent and I didn't get any value out of it. At least not yet, because of course I want to play it eventually. It's on my backlog. So that is a very real thing when it comes to at least Steam. I would assume PlayStation to some extent and Xbox, maybe not as extreme, but the deals are way easier to capitalize when you're buying virtually instead of physically. Because like I said, you can just boot up the store and what do you know? There's all these damn sales right there in front of you. So virtual definitely has like its place, but there is a lot of downsides with buying virtual. The biggest one to me is you don't actually own the game you're buying. I'm pretty sure you already know this, but I'll say just for the people that don't know or they're not aware, is you're buying, when you buy a game digitally, you don't buy you're renting. Think about you're renting the game. You're buying a license to the game. Now, what does buying a license actually mean? You're buying the ability to access the game. That's all you're getting. You're not buying the game. You're buying the ability to play the game. Now, that's not inherent. Like you may, that's not that different. Like I can play whenever I want. No, you can't. No, it's not that simple. The publisher at any time can just be like, flip the switch. Servers are off now. And there's nothing you can do about that. So if you say, this is getting very common because everybody's buying virtually now, it requires an online connection. Or the game needs a day one patch because they don't care about the physical media version of the game, right? If they do anything finicky with your connection or they turn the servers off, dude, you can't play the game. Like, you don't own that piece of media. It is a license and they have just basically revoked it. And God forbid they delist it. Then it's literally impossible to get. So if there's no physical version, that is. But if you have a game like, I don't know, Halo Infinite, dude, the game isn't on the disc.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no.
Really, there is no way you can own that game. It's all up to Xbox and Microsoft just to please don't kill Halo. But God, they could. No one cares about that franchise anymore. Now, here's another thing about buying virtual. You can't trade or resell that game. So say you have a buddy. I remember having a friend at school. Batman Arkham Knight came out, okay? He's like, yo, can I borrow that? Because I had it on disc. He's like, can I borrow that, And I was like, yeah, dude, what you got? He let me borrow Witcher 3. We went to school like we were carrying cocaine or something, dog. And we in our bags and we swapped games and just traded. Not traded, but we like let each other borrow the games. You can't do that virtually. You can't. There's a caveat. Hold on one sec, though. So you can't do that no more when you buy virtually. But physically you could, and those type of situations are gone now. You can't resell them to, make a little money back to go buy the next game, which might not sound like a big deal to some people, but bro, if you're actually struggling financially, at least put yourself in that person's shoes where they just bought this $40 game used, okay? They beat it or whatever. They're not going to touch it again. They're like, I had my fun with it. I'm probably never going to play it again. You can sell it again for $20, save $20 off the next game you buy. That's kind of a big deal to some people that are in financial, like, they're very strict on their budget. So I understand why that's very important. But back to what I was saying about how you can't lend games virtually anymore. There is a way kind of through the Switch 2. It's like the first time it's really happening, though. So let me explain if you don't know what that system is. So on the Switch 2, they added a system where you can lend 3 of your games to somebody else, somebody's console, but they only can get 1 of those games. So you can do 3 at a time, and somebody can have 1 of those games at a time. And after 14 days, it will come back to you. So it's like guaranteed you're not going to lose your game type thing. So there is a way to lend it, but they also have to be in your family group. There's caveats here, right? It's not actually lending in the same way lending physical is. So it's not exactly the same, but it's like mimicking it, if that makes sense. Now, here's my unk take, okay? I'm getting really loud for this one. I know this is going to make me sound like such an old head, okay? I'm not that old. It's actually kind of saddening. But looking back at the PS2 dropping, the PlayStation 4, people lining up for Black Ops 2, GTA, like all these major E3 when Spider-Man and God of War was showing off.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Then show me what you know. I am hungry. Feed us.
Like looking at all these moments, okay, in gaming history when I was just a little lad, right? And I didn't get to experience that stuff like I do now. Like I'm way more tapped in now as an adult. Dude, I wish that was still a thing. Like, I really do. I think that is so cool. There was a line full of people standing outside of a damn GameStop to get the damn PS2 in 2002. And they were like, you know what? This shit is going to be sick. I don't care if I look like a nerd. I don't care if I'm corny. Dude, that is so cool. Especially when you think about the time period. Gaming wasn't cool until after Fortnite, I would say. Before that, if you played gaming, it was kind of like... you game? You're kind of a loser. You're a nerd. That might seem insane to like say, especially if you're younger or you weren't around before that, like playing games. That was a real thing. I remember being like made fun of because I played video games. That don't happen no more, dude. Video games are a norm now. If you don't play video games, it's like, huh? What are you doing at your house, big bro? What are you doing? Just walking around in circles and staring at the wall? So I miss the community aspect, okay? I put my hands up. I think it would be cool to bring that back. If somehow, some way we could bring that back. Don't know how we're going to do it, especially with physical media going away, going poof poof. But if we could, that'd be sick. Those are just like downsides to buying virtually instead of physically. But with Sony wanting to literally end physical games, like they want to stop making discs completely, not even the choice. You don't get the option to buy physical anymore. Dude, that is so bad. That is terrible for you and me, the gamers, that people actually who love this hobby and do it like every day. That is awful. Let's start with one that I honestly was not too aware of until more recently is... if you take away the physical version of games, you are giving all of the power to Sony, to Microsoft, to whoever is publishing this game and whatever storefront you're on, okay? Especially console, you're putting all the damn power in their hands. And that is a terrible idea, and you should know it too, because they don't give a singular damn about you. They just want you to pad their pockets. That's all they want. You're just a cash cow for them, and they're going to milk you for all that you're worth. They will at least try to. So us giving these people, these greedy people, all the power in the storefront, we both know what's going to happen. Sales will never, they will never come. And if they do, they're sparse, very sparse. I mean, if kind of an example is if you look at Nintendo, dude, their games don't go on sale. And if they do, they're not for long and they're not a lot. Because where you gonna buy Mario at, dude? Huh? Where you gonna buy that? Now, why do every once in a while they probably go on sale? Used market. You can buy them games used. That is the only competition for Nintendo's exclusive titles. But when it comes to Sony and Xbox, if we just give them all the power, you think they won't follow suit? You don't think they'll do the same exact thing as Nintendo? So here's an example right now of why physical is a good thing and why we need it here. Is on your screen, there should be a list on eBay of Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut for PS5. That is the price of those games. You want to buy them used, okay? You want to buy them used. Now, I'm going to show you Sony. What is that, huh? That's 70 clamps. This game does go on sale from time to time. But if you take away that physical version of the game, why would you ever put it on sale? Why would you ever give them the option of spending $40, $30 less than they have to? That's $40, $30 extra in your pocket. That is why you need the used market. It's so it can become more affordable. Much like I was saying earlier, dude, $20 can be a lot to some people, man. That was a very big reason Game Pass was successful. The Xbox wasn't able to keep it monetized. Like, we weren't able to keep it making a lot of money out of it. But for the gamer, dude, that was a steal. That's why people bought it, dude. It was probably too good of a deal. That's why it didn't last. And this is just to show more of just how much they don't care about you, my guy or gal. They don't care about you, the gamer. Is Sony. Prime example here. Sony's policy for returning games is outrageous against you. It is so bad. You buy a game, okay? Say you buy some game on PlayStation. You got 2 weeks to refund it, okay? Now, in them 2 weeks, you better not have started the game. Because the moment you start it, no, you're getting no refund. You got 5 minutes of enjoyment out of that game. What? No. That is worth every penny in 5 minutes. So if Sony's going to want crap to go virtual, if they're going to want to just completely bail on physical, yeah, dude, we're going to need some changes to his policy. Something like Steam, per se. I'll talk about that more here in a minute. This is also detrimental if we got rid of just physical games, is once a game is revoked, delisted, like I mentioned earlier, how they can just take it away at any moment. Dude, if there's no physical way of preserving that game, it's gone. Like, your favorite game, whatever it may be, is, say, I have a prime example off the top of my head. AC Shadows, okay? I've never played that game. I want to play. I got back in that Black Flag, right? I might play Shadows. But you need to have an online connection for Shadows. If at any moment Ubisoft just pulled the plug on AC Shadows and say you loved Shadows, because I know there's a lot of damn weebs in America and they love Japan. Say you love AC and you love Japan. They put that crap together. You love Shadows. You love it. It's your stuff. And they just pulled the plug. That game is effectively gone. There is not much you can do. You better hope emulators work. And that's pirating, so that's illegal, so I can't condone it. But, I would, theoretically, if you were to do it, I would understand why. But that is what it comes down to, is doing illegal things to preserve a game. Because you have no power to. And you know what they probably will do in, 20 years? Say if Shadows was a big enough game, remaster it, sell you for another $60. So you just get more money out of you. You see the problem? This is a massive damn problem. Putting game preservation in the hands of a developer or a publisher, maybe not so much the developer, but definitely the publisher or the gaming company, is just a bad idea. Why would it be in their interest to preserve the game, financially speaking? Because that's all it comes down to, is money. Financially speaking, it would actually be, how about we let this game die and we remaster it or port it over? Why would we not do that? So it's a terrible idea. You lose ownership and you will own nothing. Deal with it. That's what they ideally want. And that is a sad, sad thing that some people just don't care about. So I ain't gonna lie, it's all kind of doom and gloom, right? But I do want to say there is things we can do, okay? There is some things I practice, I hope other people do as well. It's going to come down to voting with your wallet, which in the grand scheme of things isn't really going to do much. I'll be honest. We've tried. We've already tried that. But whenever you can, at least while it's here, buy physical. You best believe I'm buying Wolverine day one. As long as it's all on disc, I think it will be. Does it play? Shouts out. Go there to check if the game is on disc or not. But if the game's on disc and you want to play the game, dude, buy it on disc. At least while you still can before they discontinue making discs in 2028. And this also isn't just Sony. Xbox is very much seeming committed to the virtual bit as well. They're making, I don't know exactly how it's working, but they're making a way to digitalize your physical media, it seems. And they're already bringing back the 360 and old Xbox games to the PC version for backwards compatibility. Project Helix is supposed to not have a disk drive. So both sides, whatever side, console wars are dead. But if you're on either side, right, if you play on either of those platforms, they are not supporting physical, okay? So buy whatever physical you can while it's still there. The best thing that I think you can do, whether you buy physical or digitally, is support the platforms that have the best consumer-friendly policies. The ones that actually are making an effort to protect your games, all right? Treat you like a consumer and not some damn slave pen to give me money, okay? Prime example is Sony does not care about you, the gamer, and making sure your digital games are okay. They don't, dude. They want to control the whole storefront. That's the whole reason they want to get rid of it. They don't want you to have access to your games. And if I'm being honest, it seems like most of these bigger ups at the companies, they want cloud gaming to be a thing. They want you to own nothing and be happy about it. And we cannot stand for that. So I'm going to be honest with you. This is me personally. If you are on console, go to PC. There is no reason to stay on a I mean, if you already have a console, that's chill. But I'm saying next gen, PS6, Xbox Helix, whatever it is, especially if it's over $1,000, do not go over there. Just go to Steam. They are way better. Or GOG. It's not just Steam. PC in general. They have way better digital video game consumer right, whatever you want to call policies. They're way more favorable to you than what Sony has or Xbox has. Way more. While writing this script, literally the perfect example to show why Steam, as an example, or just PC platforms in general, are better than PlayStation and Xbox's policies, is recently Battlefield 6 got rid of some game modes, okay? And usually people would like shrug their shoulders, like, that sucks. They just took one of my favorite modes out the game. There was some dude on Steam. He played 470 hours of Battlefield. I'm going to say that again. He played 470 hours of Battlefield 6 and requested a refund on Steam, and they gave it to him. The usual case for Steam is you get 2 hours and you got 2 weeks to try the game. So this is definitely an outlier. This is not normal at all. But they also just removed game modes that were in the game at launch. That's not normal at all either. So he was like, yo, I like Rush, or like the hard King of the Hill, like the hard point mode or TDM modes of Battlefield 6, and they removed them. I play mode, that's what I mostly play. So then he requested a refund, which is understandable. But even then, most people would be like, shit out of luck, dude. Like, Steam could have put their arms up and been like, we're not giving your money back. You got 470 hours out of the game. People would be, okay, that's reasonable. I understand why Steam didn't do that. But they did. They still, it shows you how, now Steam is also a company. They're going to get their money, but they're at least somewhat fair. They at least make an effort to treat you like a consumer favorably. So if Xbox, Sony, if they want us to go full virtual, there's going to need to be some changes here, okay? They're going to have to change their policies to be more consumer friendly, okay? They're going to have to adopt something more like Steam's policies, where we get a better refund policy because, bro, maybe I played an hour of this game on PlayStation and it's hot donkey ass, or it's super buggy. I should be able to refund that, but you can't. You can't unless it's so bad that they're like, damn, you really bought Concord. Damn, you really bought Mind's Eye. All right, we'll give you a refund. It has to be so bad that they're willing to give everybody refunds. PlayStation and Xbox will also just need to promise the consumer, us, the gamers, something about preserving games. Something. If it's a single player game, it will be offline accessible before support for the game dies, before it's discontinued. Something along those lines, because I need protection from my game just becoming literal bricks. Like, I can't play them no more. I need some type of that incorporated. If we're going to go all virtual, all digital, and I can't own my games anymore, and I'm just buying a damn license, we got at least meet me in the middle ground somewhere. So I see and I understand the convenience of buying digital games. Truthfully, I do it my damn self. I get it, dude. But taking away the choice for people to buy physical or digital is just, it's insane. It's so bad. For us, it's so bad. Especially with how the industry is, the gaming industry is right now. Removing physical games, just, it would really put the consumers, the gamers, you and me in a damn bind. We would literally be at the company's mercy, and they don't care about you. And at least in that way, they care about getting that money from you. So just continue to vocalize your disdain of getting rid of physical, because I love going to damn PlayStation's Twitter. The amount of just people flaming them in the comments, I love seeing it. It's awesome. But we have to just continue to do that, dude. And let's just hope and pray, dude, that people switch to PC when this next gen console generation comes, because that honestly will be the only way of things actually changing. We've already tried the battle with our wallets and we've lost. Most people are not as passionate about gaming like me. They're not about, you're on damn YouTube watching some guy ramble for how long? 28 minutes about physical media, bro. You're a gamer as well. That's not the normal. Most people, they are just, they're playing ball game or gun game. COD 2K. They don't care, man. So we have to hope those people are like, next gen $1,000. I don't know. At the end of the day, there should just be a choice to pick physical. It could be a limited run of a physical game. Something along those lines. I don't know exactly, but that's all for the video. That's all I had to yap about. It's been almost 29 minutes. So if you have anything to add to the combo in the comments, I'll be down there. But yeah, that's about it. Have a good one.